What if I told you that the secret to achieving everything you want is to stop caring whether you get it? Today, I'm revealing the ancient Stoic paradox that has helped everyone from Olympic athletes to Fortune 500 CEOs perform at their peak while staying completely calm. It's called detached engagement, and it's about to revolutionize how you approach every goal, every relationship, and every challenge in your life. Before I show you how to care deeply while letting go completely, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Why? Because what I'm about to teach you is the most misunderstood concept in all of philosophy, and most people get it completely wrong. This is episode 4 of Be Stoic Every Day. And if you want to achieve more by stressing less, you can't afford to miss this. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Insights. I'm your host, and today we're tackling the biggest misconception about Stoicism. People think Stoics don't care about anything, that they're emotionless robots who've given up on life. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Stoics cared deeply about everything: their relationships, their work, their impact on the world. Marcus Aurelius cared so much about the Roman Empire that he spent his entire life serving it. Seneca cared so much about wisdom that he wrote thousands of pages sharing it. Epictetus cared so much about freedom that he taught it even as a slave. But here's what made them different. They cared about the process, not the outcome. They were attached to their effort, not their results. They were committed to their values, not their victories. This is what I call detached engagement, the ability to give everything you have to something while holding the results lightly. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to master this paradox. Here's what I'm going to give you today. First, the exact difference between caring and attachment, and why understanding this will change everything. Second, 3 practical techniques for letting go without giving up. And third, a simple daily practice that will make you simultaneously more successful and more peaceful. Plus, I've got a real-world challenge that will test your ability to apply this in your own life. Let's start by clearing up the confusion. There's a massive difference between caring and attachment, and most people don't understand it. Caring versus attachment. Caring means you put in your best effort because something matters to you. Attachment means your happiness depends on getting a specific outcome. Caring says, I'm going to prepare thoroughly for this presentation because I want to serve my audience well. Attachment says, I have to nail this presentation or I'm a failure. Caring says, I'm going to be the best partner I can be because I love this person. Attachment says, this person has to love me back or I'm worthless. See the difference? Caring focuses on what you can control: your effort, your preparation, your character. Attachment focuses on what you can't control: other people's responses, external circumstances, specific outcomes. The Stoic formula for detached engagement. The Stoics had a simple formula: maximum effort plus minimum attachment equals peak performance. When you're attached to outcomes, you create internal pressure that actually hurts your performance. Athletes call this choking. Business people call it analysis paralysis. Psychologists call it performance anxiety. But when you focus entirely on the process, on doing your best work, being your best self, giving your maximum effort, you enter what athletes call the zone. You're fully present, completely focused, and paradoxically more likely to get the outcome you want. Technique number 1, the effort-outcome separation. Every time you set a goal or face a challenge, ask yourself 2 questions. What effort can I commit to? This is within your control. What outcome am I hoping for? This is outside your control. Then make a conscious choice to attach your identity and self-worth to question 1, not question 2. For example, if you're applying for a job, effort commitment: I will research the company thoroughly, prepare thoughtful questions, and present my best self. Outcome hope: I hope they offer me the position. Attachment choice: my worth is determined by how well I prepare and present, not by whether they hire me. This isn't just positive thinking, it's strategic thinking. When you attach to effort instead of outcome, you maintain control over your emotional state regardless of what happens. Technique number 2, the already enough practice. This is one of the most powerful techniques I've ever learned. Before any important event, a presentation, a date, a job interview, a difficult conversation, spend 5 minutes reminding yourself that you're already enough. Not that you don't want to improve or achieve more, but that your fundamental worth isn't dependent on this one outcome. You were valuable before this opportunity, and you'll be valuable after it, regardless of the result. I use this before every important video I make. I remind myself, I'm already a complete person. This video doesn't determine my worth. I'm going to give my best effort because I care about helping people, not because I need their approval to feel good about myself. The result? I'm more relaxed, more authentic, and ironically, the videos perform better because I'm not trying so hard to impress anyone. Technique number 3, the multiple paths visualization. Attachment often comes from believing there's only one path to happiness or success. The Stoics knew better. They understood that life offers infinite paths to fulfillment. Before any situation where you might get attached to a specific outcome, visualize 3 different scenarios. Best case, you get exactly what you want. How will you stay humble and grateful? Worst case, you don't get what you want. How will you find the opportunity in this outcome? Different case, you get something completely unexpected. How will you adapt and make the most of it? When you can see multiple paths to a good life, you stop clinging desperately to one specific path. Real-world application, the job interview. Let me show you how this works in practice. Sarah, one of my subscribers, was interviewing for her dream job. Old Sarah would have been a nervous wreck, overthinking every answer, desperately trying to say what she thought they wanted to hear. But Sarah had been practicing detached engagement. Here's what she did. Effort commitment. She researched the company for hours, prepared thoughtful questions, practiced her answers, and chose her outfit carefully. Already enough practice. The morning of the interview, she reminded herself, I'm already a skilled professional with valuable experience. This interview doesn't determine my worth. Multiple paths visualization. She imagined 3 scenarios. Getting the job and staying humble while excelling. Not getting the job and using the feedback to improve for the next opportunity. Getting a different offer that led to an even better path. Result? She was calm, confident, and authentic in the interview. She asked genuine questions instead of trying to impress. She shared real stories instead of rehearsed answers. And yes, she got the job. But more importantly, she would have been fine if she hadn't. The neuroscience of letting go. Here's why this works on a brain level. When you're attached to outcomes, your brain activates the threat detection system. You're in survival mode, which shuts down creativity, empathy, and higher-level thinking. When you practice detached engagement, you activate what neuroscientists call the rest and digest system. Your brain is calm, creative, and capable of peak performance. Studies show that people who practice outcome independence perform better in interviews, negotiations, sports, and creative endeavors. They're more persuasive because they're not desperate. They're more creative because they're not afraid of failure. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. If I don't care about the outcome, won't I become lazy and unmotivated? That's the biggest myth about letting go, and I'm about to destroy it with both logic and real examples. Plus, I'm going to share the daily practice that makes this automatic. And yes, that real-world challenge is coming up. Let's address the biggest myths about letting go. Myth number 1, if I don't care about outcomes, I won't try as hard. Reality, you'll actually try harder because you're not wasting energy on anxiety and attachment. When you're not afraid of failure, you take better risks and push yourself further. Myth number 2, letting go means giving up. Reality, letting go means giving everything you have without needing a specific return. It's the difference between a desperate salesperson and a confident consultant. Who would you rather buy from? Myth number 3, I need attachment to stay motivated. Reality, attachment creates motivation through fear. Detached engagement creates motivation through love. Love of the process, love of growth, love of service. Which motivation do you think is more sustainable? The daily practice, the evening review. Every evening, spend 10 minutes reviewing your day through the lens of detached engagement. Effort assessment. What did I give my best effort to today? Where did I hold back? Attachment check. What outcomes was I attached to today? How did that attachment affect my performance and peace of mind? Process appreciation. What processes did I enjoy today, regardless of the results? Tomorrow's intention. What will I commit my effort to tomorrow, while holding the results lightly? This daily practice trains your brain to naturally separate effort from outcome, process from results, caring from attachment. Advanced technique. The cosmic perspective. When you find yourself getting attached to an outcome, zoom out, way out. Imagine viewing your situation from space, then from another galaxy, then from the perspective of eternity. Marcus Aurelius used this technique constantly. He would remind himself that the Roman Empire, for all its power and glory, was just a tiny speck in an infinite universe, lasting just a moment in eternal time. This isn't nihilism, it's perspective. When you see your challenges in cosmic context, you realize that while they matter to you personally, they don't determine the fate of the universe. This perspective is incredibly liberating. Success stories. Let me tell you about Michael, an entrepreneur who was launching his first business. He was so attached to succeeding that he was making desperate decisions, cutting prices too low, overpromising to clients, working 18-hour days. Then, he started practicing detached engagement. He committed to giving his best effort to building a great product and serving customers well, but he let go of attachment to specific revenue numbers or timelines. The result? His business actually grew faster because he was making better decisions from a place of calm confidence instead of desperate attachment. Customers trusted him more because he wasn't needy. Investors were more interested because he projected quiet confidence. Before I give you that real-world challenge, let me share the one situation where letting go is hardest for most people. And it's probably the area where you need this most. I'm also going to give you a simple phrase you can use in any moment when you feel attachment creeping in. The hardest place to practice detached engagement is in relationships. We get attached to people loving us back, responding the way we want, changing in the ways we think they should. But here's the truth. Attachment kills relationships. When you need someone to behave a certain way for you to be happy, you put pressure on them that pushes them away. When you love someone without needing them to love you back in a specific way, you create space for genuine connection. This doesn't mean you don't have standards or boundaries. It means you offer your best self without demanding a specific response. The magic phrase. When you feel attachment creeping in, use this phrase. I care about this, but I don't need it to go a specific way. Repeat it until you feel the grip of attachment loosening. You're not giving up on what you want. You're freeing yourself from the prison of needing it. Relationships application. Instead of, I need them to text me back immediately or I'll feel unloved. Try, I care about our communication, but I don't need them to respond on my timeline. Instead of, I need this date to go perfectly or I'm not attractive. Try, I care about connecting authentically, but I don't need them to be impressed with me. Instead of, I need my kids to succeed or I'm a bad parent. Try, I care about supporting my kids, but I don't need them to achieve specific outcomes for me to feel good about my parenting. Here's what happens when you master detached engagement. You become magnetic. People are drawn to your calm confidence. You perform better because you're not choking under self-imposed pressure. You enjoy the journey because you're not constantly worried about the destination. But most importantly, you become free. Free from the exhausting cycle of attachment and disappointment. Free to give your best effort without needing external validation. Free to love without needing to be loved back in a specific way. The Stoics understood that true power comes not from controlling outcomes, but from controlling your response to outcomes. When you can care deeply while holding results lightly, you become unstoppable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This is that power in action. Here's your real-world challenge. Choose one area of your life where you're currently attached to a specific outcome. Maybe the job you're applying for, a relationship you're hoping develops, a project you're working on, or a goal you're pursuing. For the next 2 weeks, practice detached engagement with this one area. Week 1. Focus entirely on your effort and process. What can you commit to doing regardless of the outcome? Week 2. Practice the already enough mindset. Remind yourself daily that your worth isn't dependent on this specific outcome. Keep a simple journal tracking how attached you feel each day, 1 to 10 scale. How your performance/enjoyment changes as attachment decreases. What you learn about yourself through this process. At the end of 2 weeks, come back and share your results. What surprised you? What was hardest? What changed? If you're ready to achieve more by stressing less, smash that like button. You're not just supporting the channel, you're committing to freedom from attachment. You're saying, I choose to care deeply while holding results lightly. Comment below with I choose detached engagement and tell me what area of your life you're going to practice this with. When you make a public commitment, you're more likely to follow through. And this community is here to support you. Share this video with someone who's stressed about an outcome they can't control. Give them the gift of perspective. Show them that caring and attachment aren't the same thing. Subscribe and hit that notification bell because next week we're covering the discipline of desire, how to want what you have instead of always wanting what you don't have. It's the key to lasting contentment. Remember, you are not your achievements. You are not your failures. You are the one who chooses how much effort to give and how lightly to hold the results. That choice is your freedom, and it's always available to you. Until next time, stay stoic, stay free, and keep growing.